After being a part of Heartland for 13 years, this show has been really a blessing and a gift in my life. And I'm so grateful to have had this opportunity to grow and to give and to collaborate with so many other creative people. And it really has been a beautiful chapter in my life, and it means a lot. I would like to say thank you. I would like to say how sincerely grateful and appreciative I am of all the people that have supported me and the show for all these years. It's meant a lot to me to hear from fans about the stories that we have told, that I have been a part of, that have touched them. That's what means the most to me. And that I know that this is tough because people have grown up with the show, and there's an attachment to the ideas of these characters and the stories that are being told. But I also think that there's a really good story, a really good truth, that everything comes to an end, that everything dies. So make the most of what you have, and live it to the fullest. I have been feeling this call to move on, and I have been trying to bargain with it. And I have not made this decision lightly. I have spent a few years now contemplating and trying to figure out how to honor myself and make this transition, and honor the show and make this transition. So it's been a long process, and the long and the short of it is I'm following my heart, and I don't know where it's leading me, but that's what life's about: trusting, having faith, and going forward. So why I feel ready to move on now is that I have reached a tipping point internally of knowing and having a connection to myself, where I don't ignore what I feel called to do, what I feel I need to do, what I feel pulled to do. And so once you reach that point, you can't turn back. You have to move forward. And so I don't feel that there was another. I was always open. I was always open to exploring, but it's reached a point where I can feel now that this is the next step that I need to take. And it's not easy at all. And trying to be as thoughtful, caring, and empathetic to the implications of this decision. It is very challenging to do in any circumstance in life when you're making a tough decision. So I feel that I'm ready now to make this move because of this internal tipping point that you get to. I think people can relate to that in their own lives, when you've reached a point where you're like, yep, I can feel it. It's time to make the move, or change jobs, or leave this relationship, or get out there again and start a new relationship. There's an internal tipping point where you're like, I can feel it now. It's time. So, yeah, that's why I feel ready, is because I can feel it internally. It's time. I feel, again, very grateful and blessed that they have worked with me to create this transition in a way that honors all parties involved, because I think it's a very, very challenging thing to do when you are trying to maintain a level of authenticity and life force of these characters, of this story, while dealing with all the changing world and all the different the people and personalities that are a part of it to make it happen. So that's a job that I can't even imagine how difficult that is, to remain inspired and true and connected to the story while having to deal with all these things that are, limitations and changes. And it's a very difficult job. So I have a lot of respect for them, and I appreciate what they've done. I don't think one can ever get to the bottom of who a character really is, because that really depends on what you define who you really are. And can you ever know fully who you really are? I personally don't believe you can, because well, then life wouldn't be any fun. Like, if you figured it out, then it would be like, well, what's left? There's got to be more. So personally, that's my viewpoint. But within the context of playing Ty for the last 14 years of his life, do I feel that I have done it justice, the storyline, of Tai now that the character has passed on. Yes. And the reason I say that is because of the healing and the spiritual growth that the character has gone through, and the progression that he has made in his life to heal his inner world, to me, is what we're here to do. We're here to grow and expand spiritually and to heal those wounds within us that we have pushed away or hidden or didn't think could be healed. And so I feel very satisfied and grateful to have been able to play the character of Tai for these 14 years and go through that arc of healing the different areas of his life and the fears and the insecurities and overcoming those, because that's what is fulfilling in an inner world. And then as an audience member as well, that's what I find the most fulfilling and rewarding, is watching a character grow internally, overcome fears, and then expand and grow and become more grounded and connected to themselves. So I know that I don't think Tai wanted to die. I don't think Tai was planning to die. I don't think Tai was like, oh, well, that's it, I've done all my stuff. But I don't think life works that way anyway. Some people pass on and we say, oh, it was before their time, they died young. And I understand that. On a deeper level, for the journey of Tai, I do feel like Tai made those big steps, that spiritual growth, that healing in his life, that I believe is what the character of Tai, came to do. He came to heal those things and to heal those relationships and to touch other people the way he did. So in that sense, I do feel I've got to the bottom of playing the character. What I hope that fans get from this storyline is, while they may be shocked at first, what I hope that the story transmits is a faith in the beauty of life, in the knowing that even though we all will die, and certain circumstances happen where people die before their time, so to speak, that there can be healing, that there is still life to live, and that they can heal, and then they can move forward in their life and still have love, and they don't have to not feel sad. I think a lot of times, people repress those emotions, and I hope that people get from this storyline a sense of healing, maybe in their own life, that they've lost somebody, and prematurely, or an accident of some sort. And I hope that they can watch this storyline and feel some comfort, maybe some inspiration for their loved ones that have passed on, and knowing that they're still there with them. Some of my favorite scenes that I've filmed in Heartland over the past 13 years. Number one would be downtown Calgary, when Jack comes to save Tai, and they get in the fight with the bikers. And I had so much fun shooting that scene with Sean and improvising, and it was just so much fun. And it was so outside of what the Heartland world was up to that point. And I think those are some of my favorite scenes and memorable scenes while I'm shooting the show, is the ones that kind of stretch the reality and expand the world. So obviously some of my other favorite scenes were the ones in Mongolia, all the stuff there, and there's just the different contrast and all the creative work that went into making those things come alive was really special to be a part of. Some of my favorite storylines for Tai have been the Mongolia storyline, have been the motorcycle road trip with Jack, and when Tai became a dad. I think that was really cool. Not having children myself, it was cool to put myself in that position and imagine what it would be like, and prepare me as well, for I would love to have kids in the future. So it was a fun storyline for me to play, and then to hang out with the little girls, which are awesome. They're great. So those have been some of my highlights and favorites. I think Heartland has changed me like life changes anyone. If you're open to it, and if you learn from it, and if you grow with it, you can't help but change. You can't help but expand and grow. And so, I mean, there's infinite ways that I have learned from this show, from working on a consistent basis, getting up super early in the morning, working with animals, night shoots, all these different things that I had never done before. And so it's taught me a lot, and it's brought with it so many life lessons as well, and beautiful gifts that only upon reflection do you think, oh man, like that was super important. I will miss the people. I will miss the animals. I will miss the set, the Heartland Ranch. What a beautiful place it is, and what a memorable place it is in my life too. There's so much that's happened there.